Hello everyone and welcome back to Alternative Apex for the 16th round of the 2025 Formula Equals season. And we have had an interesting first 15 rounds of the season. The first 11-12 rounds of the season, we had a very exciting title fight between Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc and George Russell also had their moments at times in the mix. But since we got to the halfway point of the season, one man has been near unstoppable, and that is Max Verstappen now entering with over a 50-point lead here as we arrive at the Italian Grand Prix. He is going to be a tough man to beat today, but at this track with the DRS options and with the cars so close to each other, this could be the best chance that his rivals have at beating him for a while here as we approach the race. It is Max Verstappen on pole position, Lando Norris lining up second alongside him on the front row, but this might be the least important qualifying session of the season with the ability to overtake around here very high. Pierre Gasly behind him, and then it's Fernando Alonso. Charles Leclerc trying to get a home win for Ferrari. Then it's Esteban Ocon, Oscar Piastri, followed by Liam Lawson, Nico Hülkenberg, and Yuki Tsunoda there. It's all Mercedes row 6 with Lewis Hamilton just behind them. Isaac Hadjar behind Hamilton then as we see Lance Stroll and Oliver Byrne, Franco Colapinto and Carlos Sainz on the ninth row of the grid with Alexander Albon, Jack Doohan and Gabriel Bortoleto rounding out the starting drivers for today's Grand Prix here in Italy. Now with Verstappen on the pole position, perhaps we worry, like we have in previous races this season, that we are going to see him just drive away into the distance yet again. But with the DRS, with the slipstream, with all of that here, if any track is going to be the track that can really keep the field right on the tail of Max Verstappen, it is this one. So I do hope it lives up to that potential, because we could see an absolute classic of a race here if what we have perhaps seen in the past with races at Monza on the F1 game comes to fruition, because unlike in real life, the teams can't just take off a lot of rear downforce and take the smallest rear wing they can possibly find. They have to come here with a decent amount of downforce, and it shows. The lights are out and we are racing here for the Italian Grand Prix, and it's a strong start from both drivers on the front row, but Lando Norris is going to surge into the lead as they head down towards turn number 1 here. Alonso behind him as the field is 2 by 2 as they head through the first chicane. They're side by side, it's Lando Norris versus Max Verstappen, and Lando Norris has got the better of his rival here today on the start. He gets into the lead of this one on hard compound tyres ahead of Max Verstappen. Then it's Alonso, Gasly, Ocon, Leclerc, Lawson, Piastri, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Russell, Hamilton, Antonelli, Hadjar battling it out with Lance Stroll there as we head into the second of the chicanes. Lewis Hamilton looking to make a move, not quite able to make it happen though as we make our way through here. The field now after going all 2 by 2 through the first chicane, they're single file now all the way through, but up at the front, Lando Norris, that's the start he needed to have if he wanted to try and eat into Verstappen's points lead today. And he leads the Italian Grand Prix, but how long will he lead it for, as Max Verstappen already at the end of lap number 1 is on the tail of his rival as they head down towards turn 1 here. Even without the help of DRS, Max Verstappen is going to go to the outside here and could well take the lead away from the McLaren driver. Onto the brakes they go as it's battling all throughout the field behind them as well. Verstappen versus Norris. Norris going to get the traction on the exit, and he will maintain his position in the lead of this race as Pierre Gasly gets into 3rd place there ahead of Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon behind him, Charles Leclerc in 6th for now. But Lando Norris leads this race still, but with DRS just moments away from being enabled, this could get very spicy indeed. As now, with the help of DRS, can Max Verstappen do something down the main straight? He is going to absolutely power past the McLaren surely as they head towards turn 1. He's going to be clear before they even get to the braking zone. Verstappen leads as they're battling behind. That's Leclerc wheel to wheel with Esteban Ocon. Leclerc dreaming of getting his first win of the season, and where else to do it but Monza, a track which he has had some great successes at in the past. He would love to find himself on the top step of the podium again here in Monza. It would be quite the story if this were to be the place where he got his first win of the season, but for now at least he's got his work cut out, because Max Verstappen leads the way ahead of Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, 2 Frenchmen in 3rd and 4th, but Lando Norris is looking to try and take this lead straight back now as he has the outside as they head towards the Ascari chicane, and Lando Norris is back into the lead of this race, and it looks as though they're battling behind us. That is Charles Leclerc getting past Esteban Ocon with the help of DRS down into that chicane. The battles are really starting to kick off here throughout the field. At the front though, it's Verstappen looking at the back of Norris, perhaps knowing he's better off waiting here to see if he has a chance going through the final corner. They go down the main straight. Lando Norris really knows the situation he finds himself in. Max Verstappen, with the help of DRS, not actually making it as easy as he could have done there. A little bit of hesitation from the Red Bull driver, but he's going to go down the inside of turn 1. Norris going to try and carry the speed around the outside, but now the outside, the traction will be in favour of Max Verstappen. He will retake the lead of this Grand Prix. Gasly on his own there in third place. Ocon in a similar situation behind, but Charles Leclerc not too far behind him. And it's Alonso, Lawson, Piastri, Tsunoda and Hulkenberg currently rounding out the top 10 positions in this race, as the top 2 stay absolutely nose to tail in this one. And I hope you are getting used to it, because this is how this race is going to go. Lando Norris now, with the help of DRS, is going to get alongside. And could he get Verstappen here into the Ascari chicane? A little bit of contact perhaps there, as some sparks flew for sure. It is Lando Norris to the lead of this one. Verstappen back down into second, Gasly still in third, as the battles continue to rage on throughout the field here. This is one that could well go all the way to the line like this. Actually, Pierre Gasly this time is the man that is going to take advantage of the DRS as they head down towards turn number 1. They're going to be 3 wide. Pierre Gasly the inside. On the outside, it's Max Verstappen. Gasly, can he do it? Can he take both cars in one go? He can. He has. Pierre Gasly takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, and he is another man that knows what it's like to have success around this great racing venue. He leads the way for Alpine. Could he get his first win of the season? He got close to it early in the season at Bahrain, of course, where he was battling with those 2 Ferraris before the safety car came out. Could today be his chance, at least, of getting a podium position here, as now that's a lock-up from Esteban Ocon as they head through Parabolica Alboreto. Alonso between Leclerc and Ocon at the moment as we look back towards the front of the field. Max Verstappen is going to have the DRS here on Pierre Gasly. He's going to go to the inside line now, and the power of the DRS is just incredible as they head down into turn 1. They're side by side for second and side by side behind in the rest of the pack as well. The field absolutely side by side, nose to tail, just cannot be separated at the moment. The top 3 are beginning to build a little bit of a gap here, but that is it. That is the only gap in this field, is between the top 3 and the rest. But actually now, Gasly making the move into Ascari there. That could be what Max Verstappen needed to get out of DRS range of Gasly and Norris. You can see there the margin a little bit bigger, and Norris wants to take that position straight back here. He doesn't want to lose sight of that Red Bull in the lead. They're going to go side by side through the final corner here. Parabolica Alboreto proving to be quite the overtaking zone for some of these drivers out there. But will they have DRS? Will either of them have DRS as they head down the main straight? No! They were too close to the detection point. They won't have DRS on each other or Max Verstappen. This is what Verstappen needed. This is what he dreamed of in this race. He leads this race, and not only that, he's got them clear of his DRS now. They're side by side for second though still. Gasly versus Norris. Gasly does hold on that time. Behind him it is Lawson now, who's really come out of nowhere to get up into that 4th place down the main straight. The Racing Bulls driver looking to perhaps get his second win of the season here today. Could he be the one to get himself in the mix at the front of the field? Charles Leclerc still finds himself just stuck in this pack of cars. He has nowhere to go. He wants to improve, but he just can't find the room to do it now. Is it Fernando Alonso going to try and make his way up the order? He will do just that. Up into 4th position now, as now that is Charles Leclerc going around the outside of Liam Lawson. So as quickly as Lawson charged his way up the order, he now finds himself back down in that 6th position. And the field really mixing up here. It's like a bingo game here with these drivers, just pulling out different names and numbers from this midfield battle. Who's going to be the one to lead this particular lap as we head around the final corner? And into the pit lane goes Max Verstappen. Race leader is into the pits. Lando Norris will stay out here. He's going to go for the overcut. He's going to hope that Verstappen gets some traffic on his outlap. Alonso also staying out, as is Liam Lawson, but Tsunoda wants to give him some trouble about that position as they head into the first chicane now. Tsunoda versus Lawson into this first corner. These two drivers, of course, former teammates at the Racing Bulls team. Now Lawson back at the Racing Bulls team, where he briefly left for Red Bull before returning, and now Tsunoda is the man in the Red Bull car. Can he get into the fight at the front here as Lando Norris going that extra lap? He's clear of the rest of the mid-pack here, so he's had a nice clean lap in theory. Fernando Alonso, same goes for him. He's had a nice clean lap, but Lawson, Tsunoda, they were battling behind. Could they have held each other up and hurt their prospects in this one? Now, what will Norris's pit stop be like? Crucially, he needs to get out here before this gaggle of cars, and he's not going to be able to do it. That is a painful moment for the McLaren driver. That is going to really hurt his time on pit lane, and that surely will give the lead back to Verstappen and Gasly, the two drivers that he was racing with before this pit cycle, as that is Max Verstappen who's going to come back into the lead of this race, and he still has that margin over Gasly, for now at least. Gasly is out of DRS, but he's not too far behind Lando Norris, another one, just dropping back a little bit as they're side by side there. That's Charles Leclerc versus Fernando Alonso. Through the first chicane they go, racing hard. Charles Leclerc trying to live up to the hype around Ferrari at this venue off the back of a decent race for them, with Hamilton having a solid race in the Netherlands. Of course, Leclerc with that heartbreak last time out. I imagine he'll be hoping that the luck will swing back in his favour here today, but at the moment the only thing that's swinging is Fernando Alonso's car around the outside of Leclerc into Ascari. Fernando Alonso up into 4th position once more, but I think it's safe to say he's probably not going to stay there that long, as Charles Leclerc will remain on the back of him for now, as Leclerc now will have the chance down the main straight to make something happen. He's going to go to the inside, and again, it's going to be this another switching of positions between these two drivers. Leclerc up into 4th position once more. Alonso just not willing to give up this fight though. This is an absolute dogfight in this race. All of these drivers unwilling to relinquish their positions, and that is the case throughout the field. Look at this, Sainz battling, Behrman battling, everyone battling their way through this one. And again, I can't possibly guess what might happen here. Fernando Alonso on the back of Charles Leclerc in a DRS zone towards Ascari. Well, who would have thought it? Fernando Alonso back around the outside of Charles Leclerc. He gets the move done. Oscar Piastri in 6th position, just watching this battle at the moment. That's all he can do, as Pierre Gasly has reeled in the race leader here with just 3 laps to go. We didn't see that one coming. Pierre Gasly has done something that I don't think anyone's done yet this season, but he's reeled in Max Verstappen from the lead of the race. Verstappen's feeling the pressure now, and Pierre Gasly is going to have DRS and is going to go past him down the main straight here. Pierre Gasly now leads the Italian Grand Prix, and wow, that is an impressive feat there to not only get back into the DRS zone, but then to use that DRS to reel him in onto the back of the Red Bull and then make the pass. Norris will be needing those two to battle it out hard if he wants to do the same here. But for now, Pierre Gasly leads the race, as Oscar Piastri now finds himself up into 5th position, ahead of Leclerc, who has dropped back a little bit there through that stint, as now, with just 2 laps left in this one, at the end of lap 11, Verstappen is on the tail of Pierre Gasly. Now he's the one with the DRS. Will he be able to retake this lead as easily as Gasly took it from him? Gasly is fighting for his life in this one. This is crucial as they get oh so close to contact through there, absolutely banging their wheels against one another. And for now, at least, Verstappen retakes the lead. Piastri, meanwhile, will retake 4th position in this one, making it possibly a strong day for the McLaren team, with their drivers running 3rd and 4th at the moment. Verstappen now, whilst he leads this race, it doesn't look like it's going to stay that way for long, as Pierre Gasly's coming back at him as they head towards Ascari now. This battle is not going to stop until that checkered flag flies. I just know it here. Pierre Gasly leads the Grand Prix again here. Verstappen is right on his tail. Lando Norris on the tail of Verstappen in turn. This is an incredible fight for victory here today. The combat on display is truly extraordinary as the field continues to make their way around here. We get ready now for the final lap of this race. And wow, what could we be about to witness as they start the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix? Verstappen pulls out of the slipstream. He has the DRS. Norris is in them fight now as well as they head down towards turn 1. Verstappen's going to take the lead. Gasly's keeping his nose in the chicane. They're going to be side by side on exit, but Verstappen takes the lead coming out of the first chicane as they head towards the second chicane now. It is going to be as they were, as behind Alonso gets back up into that 4th place. Antonelli now up into 8th place in his home Grand Prix. He's ahead of Charles Leclerc, who's dropped like a rock in this second stint, but Max Verstappen leads Pierre Gasly through the second chicane. And towards the Lesmo corners they go. It is Max Verstappen ahead of Pierre Gasly, ahead of Lando Norris. These 3 drivers are really going to be fighting this one out until the final corner, if not the very last meters of this race here. Max Verstappen, he won't have DRS down the straight. He'll be giving it to Pierre Gasly. Gasly, can he make the move happen? Down into Ascari. Verstappen will be using every last bit of battery deployment that he has at his fingertips. As he goes through Ascari, it'll still be Verstappen who leads this race. There is just a straight corner and a little sprint to the line remaining in this race. It's Max Verstappen that's going to lead us towards the parabolic Alboreto. All of them are on the absolute limit of their battery deployment. Gasly looks to the outside. Verstappen's gone in deep. Gasly switches to the inside. They're going to be side by side as they come through the final corner. It's going to be a run to the line. Norris makes it 3 wide. They're 3 wide for the lead. They cross the finish line, and it's Pierre Gasly by a nose at the finish. A photo finish nonetheless. Pierre Gasly wins the Italian Grand Prix for Alpine. That is an incredible result. Let's see what it looked like from his perspective here. This Frenchman not only gets the move done on Verstappen, but now you look at his right mirror, you see the McLaren, it pops out, it's going to get alongside him, but not soon enough. Pierre Gasly wins the Italian Grand Prix. For the second time, he is a winner here at Monza. Max Verstappen dropping down to third, went a little bit too deep into the final corner, and that was enough to lose him not one, but 2 positions there, and the official timing shows the top 3 covered by just 25 milliseconds, with only 3 milliseconds covering the top 2 at the line. That is incredible from all 3 drivers to have that battle, to have it get that close, to leave each other the space required to do that was remarkable. That has got to be comfortably the race of the season so far. And no wonder the fans are cheering, because what a drive, what a race. All 3 of those drivers on the podium, they just checked out from the rest of the field. They did not look back, and look where they have ended up now, on the podium position. Verstappen, of course, he'll be annoyed that he hasn't won this race, but it's yet another podium to his name, and only 3 points lost to his main title rival. Max Verstappen continues his strong form, but Pierre Gasly, driver of the day, third on the grid to first. May not sound too impressive, but wow, what a race that was. So the official results do indeed show a 3 millisecond gap between the top 2 in that one. Pierre Gasly ahead of Lando Norris. Max Verstappen in 3rd place with Fernando Alonso in 4th. Oscar Piastri took 5th place there ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who had a charging drive up to 6th with fastest lap as well in this one. Yuki Tsunoda comes home in 7th place with Andrea Kimi Antonelli getting more points to his name with an impressive home Grand Prix. Then it is Charles Leclerc in 9th with Liam Lawson taking the final point-playing position despite running in 4th at one point in that race. What a race we witnessed. It changed so frequently I can't even remember half of it, quite frankly. The points gap in the championship has reduced from 51 to 48 points, but considering how that race could have gone for Verstappen, really he can't be disappointed with that one. Still a healthy lead in the Drivers' Championship. Norris 2nd, Hamilton 3rd at the moment, 109 points off the lead. George Russell behind him in 4th, and then it's Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Pierre Gasly, Carlos Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, Esteban Ocon, Alexander Albon, and Nico Hulkenberg rounding out the top 15. Pierre Gasly, the winner today, jumps up into 7th in the championship and finds himself just 9 points behind now. Finds 9 points ahead of Carlos Sainz in that battle for 7th in the championship, although sadly I fear for him the fight to try and get those high positions may be a little bit too big for him. Unless he can go on a string of winning races, maybe then it can happen. He's shown it's possible, maybe it can happen again. Further down in the Drivers' Championship, Lance Stroll sits 15th ahead of Gabriel Bortoleto. Jack Doohan is ahead of Andrea Kimi Antonelli by just 2 points now, as still 2 drivers are yet to score points this season. They are Isaac Hadjar and Oliver Bearman, 2 drivers, 2 rookies that will be doing all they can over the remaining races to break that little moment for them. In the Teams' Championship is Red Bull, who lead the way now by 46 points over McLaren. Ferrari, 56 points off the lead as well. That battle has been so close at times, and now it seems it's going in Red Bull's favour, but how long can that last? That is the question, because we've seen this season swing so much from one way to the other. It's surely got another twist in it before the season ends. Behind the top 3 teams, Mercedes now sit just 16 points ahead of Aston Martin, as Williams, a bit of a stagnation in performance from them. Alpine jump comfortably ahead of their rivals Racing Bulls, with Haas and Sauber still just separated by 4 points in the Teams' Championship. That's it then for today's Grand Prix here. An absolute classic, a race that I don't think I will be forgetting anytime soon. What a battle, a 3-wide photo finish. Wow, incredible, unbelievable stuff. That is just a race that I hope you all enjoyed, because if you didn't enjoy that, you're watching the wrong videos, quite frankly. That was an incredible performance there, so I do hope you all enjoyed that one as much as I did. Next time out, we'll be going to Baku, another track which, well, could well certainly give us a good, exciting finish there with the DRS run to the line. Who knows if we could see something similar again, so do tune in again next time in a week's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But But that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.